Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you?
So catchy. Just can't resist.
Yeah, I was singing along. Hope you liked it. How are you, everyone? Lovely to see you.
Spring has sprung.
Oh, God, it really has, hasn't
Finally.
it? It's really nice. I hope you're having a nice summer. At least in the Northern Hemisphere, of course. It's
Yes.
feeling a bit less... apparently, it was the darkest winter in like 14 years. And
Yeah.
I honestly thought there was something wrong with my eyes for a while. Apologies if I've rattled on about this before.
It was dark.
But I was walking around like one of those naked mole rats with my teeth all sticking out, trying to find my way to the shops in the dark. It was horrible.
Picturing you as a naked mole rat.
Yeah.
Cute or creepy?
Keep doing that.
Cute.
Anyway, so yeah.
Anyway, we got stuff to share with you today. Lots of things. Lots of news. It's a newsy sort of show. Lots of things about the music world.
Well, I would actually say it's a sort of, we've got a theme for this show. And it feels a bit like therapy. Rebirth, the burgeoning of spring, the things coming back to life, everything feeling a bit better, hopefully for you. Because it's been a tricky old period for quite a lot of us. So coming up on tonight's show, let's go through it. We have the aforementioned news.
Yes, many different things from both of us all over the world.
This is the news. And after the news, we have...
My ears.
Sorry. Brigitte's ears. And we thought long and hard about this. And I'll just cut back to us for a second. It was very nearly going to be an almost X-rated show. But we decided...
Depending what you're into.
If you're into ears.
Into them.
But we go back to Brigitte's ears. And then we got a gig to help you, help us, or help somebody.
Everybody.
Help everybody. We've got a gig coming up, which is nice. And then we've got a live performance, which is actually part of the aforementioned therapizing.
And healing and growing.
The healing, the growing, the therapizing and everything.
And coming into the light.
It's part of it. We had a very special weekend last week, which has really made us feel a lot better. But all of that's coming up on BOOcast.
BOOcast.
Yeah, BOOcast 33. 33.
It's the magic number, right?
33 is the magic number. If you know what we're talking about, cheers for being in our gang. All right, so all coming up on tonight's BOOcast, which starts right now. Splendid. Okay, over to you, Brigitte.
Well, hot off the press, just in the chat, I wanted to share one of our boosters is actually part of an art exhibition that's opening this Thursday in London at the Boomer Gallery. If Chris could cut to my screen for a second. If you go to boomergallery.net.
There we go.
There we go. That's all about the gallery. And they have an exhibition called Contemporary. And it's an opening event on the 11th of April. And it's at Tower Bridge in London. So if you're in that area, check it out.
And don't be put off by the name of the gallery. I'm sure they accept non-boomers as well.
Yeah.
Gen Xers like myself,
sure
and even millennials like Brigitte might even be allowed in. So we'll try and... We are going to try and make it up. We're not sure. So it starts on the 6th.
The 11th.
On the 11th, sorry, and it finishes... We don't know when.
We don't know when,
but it's there. But if you're in London Bridge Station, I used to love going to the London Dungeon when I was a kid.
Ooh.
Whenever I see the word Tooley Street, I just go, whoa!
I've never been. We should go. We're overdue a trip to London. Maybe we could do the dungeon, go see some art, and then get pie and mash.
That's not a bad idea. In that order.
Whole itinerary there.
Yeah. London Dungeon used to be sort of basically out-of-work actors jumping out at you as a child.
That's what the Halloween shows are like now.
Yeah. Back in the 80s when that was acceptable, of course.
Well, yes.
When you could get away with that kind of behaviour. What's next, Brigitte?
Well, I'm going to talk about AI in the news again.
No!
I know. But there's new news. And there's
again!
Very good reason for me banging on about it. Because
apparently it's all right to talk about it now.
I'll come to the point at the end. But,
should we go for
it's interesting. So, yeah. Just this week, was it a couple of weeks ago, March, Sony says it has already taken down more than 75,000 AI deepfake songs. AI-generated songs that mimic real artists are becoming a serious problem, which is of course, it was inevitable, but I like this comment that there's an ongoing debate over whether consumers will notice the difference between AI-generated songs. But the 2023 release of a song with AI-generated facsimiles of Drake and The Weeknd stoked fear that the public simply will not care. So
Take that, Drake.
They don't even mind, because it became sort of a viral hit. Everyone was like, oh, wow, this is actually really good. And it was just AI. I haven't heard it, so I can't comment myself. But I wonder if anybody has heard of the music of Callous Humane.
No.
Or maybe Calvinistic Dust.
Sounds familiar. Should I know these people?
No. It's probably more likely that you will have heard of the North Carolina musician Michael Smith, who hit headlines last year for stealing $10 million in royalties from streaming platforms.
Wow. Wait a minute. Stealing from streaming platforms?
Yes. So
I say this guy's a dude.
Well.
Okay, sorry.
It's interesting. Here's what happened. So initially, Michael, he's a musician. He wrote his own music and he uploaded it to the streaming platform. But then he artificially inflated their play counts by creating thousands of email addresses linked to thousands of bot accounts, which would be playing the tracks over and over on a loop, which generates loads and loads of money. But Spotify kind of cracked down on this, and he noticed, and he was like, oh, I can't really do this anymore. It's not working. So he realized he needed to increase the volume of tracks he was producing. So he partnered up with an AI company. And he got the CEO to supply him with 1,000 to 10,000 songs per month, giving him the full IP rights to the tracks.
I mean, that takes the whole open the content hose to a whole next level, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. So, and in turn, Smith provided the AI company with metadata and either the greater of $2,000 or 15% of the streaming revenue generated from the AI songs.
Right.
The AI company's CEO emailed Smith saying, keep in mind that what we're doing, this is not music. It's instant music, smiley face. Actually, it's a winky face. So it's kind of a sad story because he started out as a real musician and then he found he couldn't make a living, so he worked out a way to use his skills to game the system for himself. But I don't exonerate him. If found guilty, he has committed fraud.
Well, just to make it clear, Brigitte isn't actually allowed to judge and try and sentence anyone
he's not.
Anyway.
I mean, he's only been indicted.
Or indeed
so he hasn't
exonerate.
been tried yet.
Okay.
But if he is, it will be a landmark case.
I mean, you look like you should have the power.
Thank you. I keep a gavel in my bag. No, not really.
She did.
But anyway, I'm saying I don't exonerate him. Obviously, he's committed major crime. However, it's worth remembering that the streaming platforms created this system. They reward this type of behavior. The defenses they've put in to monitor fraud are hopeless, and loads of legitimate artists have their tracks pulled all the time. And The Guardian wrote recently that most musicians can only make money from writing songs that are inoffensive enough to get onto one of its vapid playlists.
Here's The Guardian.
And here's the article. And it's a good article because it's by John Harris.
Who's John Harris, Bridget?
Well, basically, he's read Liz Pelly's amazing book about the mood machine and what Spotify are doing. Because what they do is they promote banal music without any rights holders internally as perfect fit content to maximize their own profits by not paying individual artists. So nobody is taking Spotify to court over this behavior. So I can't help seeing Michael Smith as being used as a scapegoat for this larger crime, which is still being committed. Again, none of this stuff on Spotify has actually been, they haven't been taken to court or anything. It's just been reported on through undercover journalism, basically. So this is why I'm bringing it up again, is because we need more awareness. This stuff is only happening because people who use these services have no idea. They don't know what's going on. So remember to tell folks to buy directly from artists.
It's a little bit similar to the whole idea of the public square / private company business where, you know, we don't have to do anything to be fair or just because it's our company. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's like if you open a bar, you can choose who to let in and who to kick out.
Yeah.
But when these things become so big, I mean, it sounds like the similar sort of thing. I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, well, I think the whole system's broken. It's built in a bad way.
I mean, obviously, you can stop using Spotify, which I hope most of you have. Convenience is not the be all and end all. It certainly shouldn't be. Just going rummaging for records when you're a kid, looking for a track that you wanted when you were young. I mean, it's part of the fun, isn't it?
When we're in charity shops now, I've started scanning for old CDs I used to have because I'm like, I'd really love to have that in the car again.
And what was the particular old CD you were looking for last week? Go on.
For Destiny's Child
Survivor. Okay, that's fine. Great song.
I need that CD. It's got some bangers.
It does. It's true. Don't say bangers again, please.
Sorry. Well, what should I say?
Just don't say bangers. Gets me
make
confused.
You think of sausages?
No. But yeah, well, that's great. I mean, that's a really interesting. We've been talking about this quite fairly consistently for the past sort of couple of months. It feels like it's starting to become part of the mainstream. It's something that even the Guardian is writing about it now.
It's nice that it's being covered. More and more people are covering it, and that's what we need. We need everybody to be aware that this is what's happening. It doesn't work. Let's do other things.
Yeah, do something else. Well, thanks for that. So,
okay.
Anyway, let me just. I've forgotten where we are. Where are we? Oh, here we are.
So Chris has some news which has already been hinted at in the comments. Other people are up on this news, and it's local to us.
Okay. Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah. Okay. So.
In Brighton.
Whoa.
Oh, here it goes. Here we go.
Prepared I am. So yeah. So yeah. On the March 25th, GAC in Brighton had its doors closed. They were shuttered over. This is what GAC looked like, by the way, in the 90s when it opened. It opened in 1991, and it was a great place. It actually only used to have the small shop to the left of this picture, and then it gradually expanded down the end of the road. And yeah, a great place. And interestingly, sort of, I think it was about 2 years ago I went in and I noticed that they changed there's GAC last weekend, all shuttered up. They changed their logo and some of their sort of branding, and I went, what's going on there? And they told us it had been bought by venture capitalists, and I went, that's interesting. What happened? Why did they sell it? Because the guys that ran it had run it since the 90s. On the door, there's this sign, closed due to maintenance. We apologise for the inconvenience. Now, I'm just reading from the Argus, which is the local Brighton newspaper. It said that the closure was believed to be for 7 days, but more than a week on, there's still no sign of it reopening. It is indeed still closed. And we actually saw this when we went to Brighton. We shot that footage. We saw people going in, and things are being boxed up. Which is, just worrying. And rumour has it that even the staff weren't told. They just turned up for work and the place was closed. And it looks like basically the venture capitalists have just sold up.
There was a pretty heated Reddit thread kind of going blow by blow as it happened. Well, somebody claimed to know people on the inside, and everyone was going, this can't be true because of this and because of that. And they were like, look, I'm just telling you what I know. This is what's going on. GAC is gone. They're saying it's closed for maintenance, but it's not coming back.
And not only that, its online presence is now currently down. I haven't actually checked today, but if you go to gac.co.uk or whatever it is, the website for GAC, the online presence is not there either. We actually used to live on the same road as GAC's warehouse, which felt good. There's a whole bunch of synths up the end of the road.
Yeah.
But I think that got rid of as well. So yeah, shocking.
I mean, they're
stuff.
quite a sizable online retailer. I don't know how they compete with the likes of Thomann and what's the one we use a lot? Gear for Music and what are they called?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Anderton's sometimes.
No.
But there's a lot of them out there.
Simon will know.
We don't normally use Thomann because the hidden fees are enormous. But I mean, I was actually berating GAC last week, and we did buy the L6 from there because I just wanted to buy it from a real shop, and I told them as much, and the guy was really pleased. And most of the staff have been really nice over the years. Obviously, it's a music shop, so you do end up. You go into a music shop when you're in your early 20s or even you're a teenager, you're going to get treated like dirt. It just happens. It's one of those things.
It's the hierarchy, isn't it?
It's the hierarchy
you're at the bottom.
of things.
This is where you start.
Yeah, but music shops are a really important part of our lives. And it's a really important part of my life. I mean, I may have told you this story before, But my mum and dad separated when I was 10, and I didn't see my dad until I used to habitually go to holiday music on Leytonstone High Road and Freeman's. I've told you all about this before, but literally one evening after school, I was in holiday music playing on the DW 8000, was it? The Korg, the digital wave analog filter synth thing. Just going, ooh, wow. And I looked up and like, is that my dad? And it was my dad. He was buying a white Strat. Make of that what you will.
Amazing.
And I basically said, well, do you want to come back for tea? And I was walking back to our house. Or he drove us back, actually. He had I think he had a Cortina, a brown Cortina, Mark II. And
brown Cortina and a white Strat.
I mean, it's all fitting into place, isn't it? And I opened the door and shouted up the stairs to my mum, Mum, I brought someone home. I didn't really think that went through, but it was all right. But music shops, that wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for music. You can't
bringing families together.
You can't rediscover your dad online. Or I guess
maybe you can.
Maybe you can. Yeah, that's another story. But terrible shame, and the whole thing about the fact that it was venture capitalists. In fact, the Argus goes on to name them both. The company's still listed as active on Company House, but the website's currently unavailable. Yeah, a customer was told by staff via email on Wednesday that it was unable to trade for the time being due to unforeseen circumstances. Now, the story is, it's temporary, but it doesn't
appear
doesn't
to be
look
that way.
temporary. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, really bad news about GAC.
Yeah, it's really, really sad. I mean, these places are so important. I mean, they're like indie gigs as well. It's like where you first come into contact with these instruments and these sounds and getting your hands on them and feeling them and getting the advice of the people who work there. There were loads of lovely people who worked there.
Yeah, there really were.
They
really were.
Really,
there was some.
It's just part of the tapestry
in
of the
old
music
days.
world.
But I bought my Juno there, with the help of Kirk Brandon, who knocked them down.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to have a a music shop there. I mean, obviously a guitar shop. It was primarily it was mostly guitars, but then it got its own sort of high tech sort of end. Anyway, sad news.
Yes, I'll bring us something light, shall I? Something bright.
Is it light?
Well,
talking about
it starts dark, but it goes well. So
let's see. Shall I cut?
Yeah. I discovered that in 2015, Joni Mitchell had a terrible stroke, and then she had a friend called Daniel Levitin, who's the author of Your Brain on Music, and said, when she got back from hospital, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, and the doctors were very pessimistic about her recovery, and they hadn't scheduled any follow-ups. But he had worked with Joni Mitchell previously and knew about her musical sensibility, so he created her a customized music therapy playlist, which not only drew on her musical sensibility, drew on her favourite songs, but also reminded her of people and connections from various stages of her career. So Mitchell was able to make steady progress with the help of speech and physical therapists and music. So Levitin was saying one of the things we know is that music you like increases dopamine. And dopamine is the neurochemical that motivates you to do things. And having that music as a reminder of who she is, who she was, and what she cares about helped her to do that very difficult job of recovery and follow through with the protocols of the therapists. Now he's applied this to himself as well. He underwent hand surgery to repair an injury, and then he was sent home with codeine. But instead of taking painkillers, he listened to music. He says his lab was the first to show that music produces endogenous opiates, which are analgesics.
Let me guess. Einstürzende Neubauten.
No, I think it was Bill Evans and a bit of Enya. I know. Well, this is the thing. You can self-prescribe, he's saying. It has to be music you like.
Basically, presets from 90s synths will make you feel better.
Well,
no.
Right? So they've studied, is it one type of music? Is it beats? Is it certain rhythms? And Or is it industrial metal bashing? Exactly. It's the music that resonates with you, the music that you like and have a connection with. And so he's done so much research in so many different fields, and this article goes into it. I'll share it in the chat. But one of them was that music, like one of the most definitive proofs of music helping people in health, is that when it's played at the right tempo, It's called rhythmic auditory stimulation therapy, and it can help Parkinson's sufferers regain their ability to walk after just a few weeks of therapy, because they can basically start to hear the music, the rhythm in their mind, and it helps them to walk again.
That's
it's incredible. Amazing. So it's more powerful. It can interrupt those signals. Anyway, I recommend reading this article because there's so many benefits to the health, and it's very, very, inspiring and encouraging reading in a sometimes sad world.
Yeah, speaking of sad world, thanks, Andy Kubichevsky. Clem Burke has died. I mean, that's terrible news.
What?
So sorry to hear that. Has that literally just happened?
He can't have been too old.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's awful.
Oh, he was
heard a few hours ago.
A firecracker of a drummer.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. How do we pull that one back?
Well,
sorry.
Trying to look at my ears.
I mean to see. Oh. Okay, let's have some ears. I think we've got the ears.
Hold on, I'll just put the link to that article in the.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I can't link it in. The link is too long. I think that'll work.
Okay.
So
remember, this has been very, very heavily bowdlerized because, frankly, some of this footage we couldn't show you because it was just too.
Before you start it.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to an audiologist to get impressions taken of my ears, but they had a free hearing test. So the bit we're not going to show you is the hearing test, where she filmed inside my ear, and that was very exciting.
It's all a bit intimate, shall we say?
Yeah. So we're not going to show you that, but we are going to show you the impression taking process. If you ever want to get in-ear monitors, this is what happens.
And you're going to talk us through it. Okay, let's go.
I'll talk through it. So I'm sitting in the chair.
We can see that.
Foam stopper is pushed into the ear canal first, and it's got a little thread in it.
Okay.
I was only able to film this on condition of anonymity with the person, so everything's blurred out.
So the woman didn't actually have a big blurry face?
She didn't have a big blurry head. So she's poking this little tip really deep into my ear, very, very deep. And then you have the little string hanging out, and then she's looking inside with the ear looker thing, I don't know what that's called, and checking that it's in the right spot. And this is basically to stop the silicon from getting into my brain, I presume. I'm no doctor, but...
Yeah, you don't want to go too far.
Yeah, so she mixes these two, this sort of two substances together, and as soon as they start mixing, they start to set. And she puts it in the syringe.
Here we go.
She warned me. She said, it's going to feel cool. And it did. It felt really cool, and it will feel full. And it did. It felt full and cool and was actually quite refreshing, as you can see from the expression on my face. It was very nice.
Is it like sort of squirty cream in your mouth?
She's telling me off there.
Telling it shut up.
You can't move your jaw. She kept telling me. And then as soon as it went in, I was like, wow, that was interesting. But if you move your jaw, it can affect the shape of the mold. So don't move your mouth, ideally. And because I'm going to have my mouth open when I'm singing a lot with these, although I have my mouth closed, I kind of let my jaw relax a bit, so it's slightly open. So yeah, then you do the same thing with the other ear. Splork. And then wait for it to harden, which took a few minutes. And then remove them, which she had to do very delicately.
So this is the big bit we get to see.
This one hurt a little because it was in a little deeper than the other one.
Ugh.
It was ouch, and then it was okay. And then she said, oh, haven't you got small ear canals? And I was like, oh, no wonder. That's why my in-ears keep falling out of my head, because they can't get in. The canal's too small, basically.
Here comes the other one.
Here comes the other one. That was easy. The second one was fine. And they're both different. I mean, they're small ear canals and they're different. It's so interesting seeing the shape of your ear.
Oh, wow.
Complicated little thing.
That is so strange.
So, yeah, then she checked inside, and now I've got these.
Look at them.
Those are my ears.
So one of them's a lot smaller than the other.
Yeah. I don't know which is which, actually.
That's interesting.
God, I hope they know.
I'm sure they do.
I hope they do. Oh, yeah, they will. They will, because of the shape of them. will betray which ear it is. So
Okay.
I've posted those off to no affiliates, nothing. ACS custom ear monitors. They do like ear protective equipment and stuff as well, but I pretty much just went with them because they had a good price and a good process, and it was very straightforward. So I'm hoping they'll arrive in time for the gig, and I'll finally be able to do a gig with headphones that don't fall out of my ears when we're playing.
Shall we show this? So one of the most interesting things I thought from looking at it after, and this is a little part of the footage, and we've just taken a still because it's a little less shocking. Have you ever seen an eardrum?
She showed me my eardrum live.
This is what the eardrum looks like. Tell us what we're looking at.
So this transparent bit on the right, that is the eardrum. And the pale white bit on the back is the bone. Oh, she used the Latin name. It's the hammer, I think. I think it goes hammer, anvil, stirrup. Or is it anvil, hammer, stirrup? Anyway, that's the bone that picks up the vibrations on your eardrum. And your eardrum is clear. That blew me away. If you're wondering what the white thing on the top left, it's a little bit of earwax. And I was so bad with her. I was like, I'm so sorry about the earwax. So I want to tidy it up. She said, no, that's a healthy thing. You want a lot of earwax because it's there to protect your ears.
This woman sounds really dirty. Disturbingly so. It's like, no, the earwax is really good.
It was very reassuring.
No, don't remove the earwax.
Well,
precious earwax.
Quite like a go with an earbud. It feels quite satisfying. It's like scratching a difficult itch. But
it is. Apparently, it's really bad for you, though. Don't do it.
And so from now on, I will still use them because I can't resist, but only in just the outside. She said you mustn't put anything in your middle ear because it's dangerous, really dangerous. Because if you hit that,
you break it.
I mean, you can see how fragile it is. Yeah. It's just this thin, glassy membrane.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it now. It's so amazing.
So can we just divulge how much this whole process has cost you, including you've basically got sort of...
The hearing test was free.
Okay.
And the ACS custom process, they just charge you a lump sum for the headphones themselves, which I think it was only about £220 for the bottom range IEMs. Just single driver, but that's fine for me because I just need to hear my voice. And the mold taking part is free, and you can get it done anywhere in the country at any audiologist that participates. So they just send you off to the local choose your audiologist or Boots even. They'll do the molds and then send them off to ACS Custom, and they'll make them into the IEMs.
So, I mean, that's amazing. If you've ever thought about doing this but have been put off by the idea of, well, I don't know where the hell to go and I don't know how much it will cost and I don't know all this. I mean, I'm impressed.
I thought it was like going to be prohibitively expensive. I thought it was £600 or over for years, and then I was like, I'm going to Google this, and then a little bit of hunting, and I found this.
Yeah, and it's just like 2 stops on the train and you were there. So yeah, if that's of interest to you, it might be worth doing it. Any of you got in-ears? Don't know.
Yeah.
Have you?
I can't remember who.
Do you use them?
I did mention it to the guy at the post office, actually, because I was posting them. He's like, what are these? And I said, they're molds of my ears. And I said, I've got small ear canals, apparently. He said, oh, I've got them as well. I can never keep headphones in my ears. So you might just want them for recreational listening. But that said, I think the higher fidelity in-ears cost a bit more. They go up. But there are many bands, so... Yeah, that was very exciting.
I mean, really, whoa, excuse me, really good.
It's not every day you get to see inside your own ear.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And I'm tempted to do it myself, although I don't normally have that much trouble. I just jam them in and they stay there. But
I love doing the hearing test as well, because she said, do you have any concerns about your hearing? I was like, no, I just wanted to do this because it was free, basically. Bit of fun. But I do wonder, sometimes I don't hear things, and I think, is it a cognitive thing or is it my ears? Is it that I'm not processing the words mentally, or that I'm actually not hearing them? And so we did a hearing test, and one of them was a series of pitches going lower and lower and quieter and quieter. Really, really quiet. And I would press a button. I was in a booth, in this like little booth with a button and headphones on, and I couldn't hear a thing. And I had to press it whenever I heard the sound. And she said, press it even if you think you hear it, because you might not actually hear it.
Yeah.
And then there was a weirder one, which was testing how well you separate sounds. well you can distinguish sounds from each other, and she said it's going to sound like a train, and it was going chuk, 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 chuk. But then it was modulated, and she said you're going to hear a siren, but it just sounded like the modulated train to me. So it was like, and it really
I hope you're all sampling this at home.
it really is confusing, because you start to hear it in the white noise of the train. And I was playing tricks on me, but she said I did pretty well. It's quite tricky. My hearing's fine, but I do have a tiny dip in a low frequency that might be why I can't hear you sometimes, because you've got a deep voice.
Well, I've got a fairly deep voice. I'm very manly voice.
I've got a manly voice.
But yeah, I'm just looking through the Common Sense Andrew case. I mean, you've got custom in-ears. Thanks for that. So Dream Warper's, or rather Wagyu's left ear doesn't make solid wax anymore. It makes runny wax. This is interesting.
Oh, wow.
What's going on? I mean, you've got, I guess that's starter and main course from each ear. Who is it? I used to have a friend.
Is this going to be gross?
No. Oh yeah. It'll remain. He will remain nameless. But his girlfriend told me he's got this really weird habit. He just loves to smell his own earwax, and she says I'll watch him. He'll be doing this with his ears, and then he'll sit for like up to half an hour and wait, hoping everyone's forgotten what just happened, and then she'll see him go.
I love it.
Nixie likes the smell of ears, doesn't she?
She does. She does. She loves it.
Very particular pong. Go do it. Click, 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 click. Oh no, I keep my. Yes. Wagyu says I can click my eustachian tube in my right ear, but not left. I wonder if that's got something to do with the fact that you got runny in one and hot in one and cold in the other.
Maybe it is. Well, she said it's a very good thing to do, to go and get a free hearing test, because then you have a baseline and you can measure how well your hearing's doing as you get older and when you need stuff for it.
Oh, it's Simon. Hello. By the way, Technomatic says smaller canals will roll off the longer wavelengths. Is that true? So it's interesting. So you've got you do have it. I wish we had the graph of your
I think I do.
response.
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
We've got Bridget's frequency response of her head. That's interesting, and it kind of makes sense, actually. It really does. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to have...
Don't worry about it. It's fine. But it sort of goes okay, not okay, but still sort of okay, and then back up. It's quite an unusual... plot.
Sorry, I can only see the video.
Low, sort of medium lows are sort of quite attenuated with you, aren't they? Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, I can't. I'm looking for the picture and it's... No.
I'm going to have to start talking like this, darling.
Sorry.
So you can hear me properly.
Basically, it was all within the normal range, and it was all like... bass frequencies normally. So if your bass frequencies are here and your high frequencies are there, it was like this, and then there was a dip down there. I don't want to say what frequency that is, about a quarter of the way into the graph.
Well, I don't know where it started.
And then it was middle, and then it dropped again at the high frequencies. But she said that's normal. It always rolls off at the top.
And it only went to 8K, so...
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So,
anyway, lots of earwax and
fun.
talking here.
But I think it would be useful for you to get yours done, because then when you're mastering and mixing, you'll know what the frequency response of your own ears is, and whether you're... Because I thought... because I hear treble a bit more than you, don't I?
I don't know.
I'm always like, reduce the treble.
Possibly. I mean, down that way madness goes. I'm sort of worried. Have any of you had your ears tested and gone, that's horrible? I mean, a lot of people with tinnitus and permanent tinnitus all the time. But you're looking at that. Bridget's built-in notch filter.
I like that. I've got a built-in notch filter, but I can't adjust it.
Yeah, but it's are we done?
It's a fairly light show this month because we've been quite busy with.
Well, yeah, I mean, we said at the beginning, so this is sort of a therapeutic show, really. I'm talking about therapy when you had your ears done and everything. I finished soundproofing the house, which has been good, although my hands are broken. They're just starting to work again.
Just in time to start practicing for the show.
Yeah, we start practicing for the show. But we are now looking to move as well, so we've been doing a lot of travelling back and forward. Technomatic, we're looking in St Leonard's Hastings area, so...
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still out there. I don't know. I haven't seen you for a while, but we're looking up that end. We just need somewhere. We've built this place. It's really nice. The studio's lovely, but it's time to move. And we're really looking for somewhere with a building in the garden that we can use, really, aren't we?
Kind of what triggered it as well was we went to see a friend's art exhibition in Hastings, and we just went to all these amazing bars with amazing music, and people were like, yeah, you should play here. We're like, yeah, we should.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. We've been in kind of a village sort of place for a while, and we're ready to embrace the hustle and bustle of...
I think village is a very polite way of describing New Haven.
Wow.
But yeah, we've just kind of done... We've been here 9 years now. We've done 3 albums here.
Yeah.
We may even do a
squeeze out
4th because we had some... I'm too old for St Leonard's now. Okay, we'll go to West St Leonard's.
We're thinking of going near Bax Hill almost, with the retirees.
Yeah, we're not that old.
We're into it.
But I've got...
Old people have their shit sorted. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. But what was I saying?
Sorry, I probably wasn't listening.
Probably wasn't important. But yeah, so we've been doing all that, and a lot of the stuff that's kept us going. In the meantime, boosters, please.
Yes.
Has been the stuff that you guys have been doing to support us all this time. And we just want to say thank you very much to all of you, our boosters. And we're just going to quickly tell you, if you haven't joined, this is the kind of thing you can get. Over to you, Brigitte.
Yes, you can get so many things if you subscribe. And it's like, what, $3 a month or something as a minimum? But you get 10% off merch right away. Everything we release for free. Free downloads, including unreleased EPs, stems, fan remixes. And check out all these releases you get. I think there are 15 EPs and more, singles, things that nobody else gets. Plus you get, there's exclusive merch, the booster mug. I like the booster mug with the ghost on it. But yeah, we also have a Discord and a Substack and a mailing list. So feel free to join all of those things to be in touch with us and to contribute to the show if you've got... sorry.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, if you join, we get access to all the stems and stuff. We've got a nice collection of remixes here coming out, which is going to be lovely one day. With all your permission, we're going to put them out, I think, because there's some really great stuff. Yeah, next gig at the Delaware Pavilion. How do you pronounce that, by the way? Is it Delaware or Delaware or Delavar? How do you pronounce that? I don't want to get it wrong.
I say Delaware.
I've heard people say Delaware.
That's a place in America.
I know it is. That's why it's stuck in my mind. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, do help us. And also, we at this point we'd like to thank all of you. If you become a booster and you stay a booster for as little as £3 a month for 6 months, you become the recipient of the much coveted
BOOpeter badge.
BOOpeter badge. And
we must remember to wear ours for the show.
Yeah, I suppose we should. Do you know what? We should probably... Can we do a sort of digital mock-up of the BOOpeter studio as well and have some dogs and cats
just
running around?
Put it in the background.
Maybe have an elephant crapping in the background as well. Be really nice. So yeah, at this point, we'd like to say a proper big,
massive
thank you to all of you. And we're going to go with this now. So thank you very much indeed, all of you. There's the BOOpeter badge.
Very shiny, very beautiful BOOpeter badge.
Are you going to say the names?
We are.
Okay,
thank
shall we
you
take
to
some
the
time?
booster badge holders who have made the scroll of honour by honouring us for 6 months or more with their support.
Andrew Kovacheski, thank you.
Stefan Last, thank you.
Steve Turnbull, thank you.
Ian J. Cole.
James Newcomb, thank you.
Craig Williams, Paul Mouchline, Adam Embry.
Warren Harrison, thank you. Sean Parsons, thank you. Jeff Terranova, Jeff Potter, Andrew Fan, Ian Heath, Paul Harkness, George Schaffner, thank you.
Tom Grimshaw, Pascal Aubrey, Technomatic, David Hill, Andrew Walford, Nick Hay, Gary Goldfinch, thank you.
Wait, Ed Francie, Andrew Mayer,
Rob Sloan, Wagyu, Ian Pass, Simon Goodwin, Neil Wharton, Andrew Loveland.
Jerome Gorman, Michael Carker, No Libels Plus, Andy Bonai, David Creeth, Adrian Wright, Rainer Van Grunen, Rich Cool, Evan D. Gray, Sean Parsons,
Julian Edge, Zach Lure, and Christopher Miller.
Thank you very much indeed for all your support, and we hope you wear your badge with pride. Remember, always when you pass another badge holder, you must do the salute. I can't remember what it is, just like that. And thank you so much for all of
Maybe
your
you should
support.
do a little boo ghost, little boo.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Yeah, lovely idea. But yeah, it's a little bit of a short show tonight.
Yes,
because we really
we've just been flat out with work and getting things organised and looking at houses. You know what it's like with that whole process.
It has been a bit much. I mean, it's literally we're very much up in the air. We don't know where we are. We're having these brief moments of like, yeah, it's going, it's moving, it's brilliant. It's been a real lesson in sort of trying to stay on top of it, really, and trying not to get a bit crushed underneath it all. As you probably know, I mean, it has been the same for a lot of people. It's been a pretty rough 4 or 5 months, really. It's been quite a difficult time, and
there's nothing like a difficult time though to galvanise you and give you clarity about what you want going forward. And I think we both really feel that we're embracing and ready for this change and excited for what the future's going to bring.
And it's also underlining once again how important music is, because we literally dreamt the title of our next album last night.
Yeah. Well, you dreamt
and
it.
the artwork, yeah. But
I think it's great.
It just came together and it made sense. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because we haven't decided if it's actually what it's going to be.
And we have a folder full of demos.
Which I don't think we've shared any of it with you yet.
Well, I haven't even put it on my phone to listen to yet.
Well, you really should.
Yeah, I know.
So we're feeling good about it. And it's just that feeling of right, we're in touch with it again. We're starting to make stuff. It's life affirming.
Yes.
There's no other way for it. No other
Yes.
word. And synth of the month. I'm so sorry. There's no synth of the month this month because it's just
you've been soundproofing and you've set up the synths for live practice.
I'm sorry about that. I was almost tempted to do the VL1, the Casio VL1, and I went, I can't do that. I mean, give us a thumbs up if you think the Casio VL1's a good idea. I mean, I watched Keen on Keys. He's got 2 videos on the Casio VL1, and they're both brilliant. I thought, well, there's nothing I can add to that. But yeah, maybe there is. Would you like to see the VL1? It is a synthesizer, before you start complaining. Anyone? What do you think? I mean, that was possibly the next idea. But again, we're all up in the air. I'm going to start packing things away because we're getting photos of this house made, so we're putting it on the market, and I don't really want all the stuff in the Yamaha VL1. I ain't got one. I mean, that might be interesting. Has anyone got one you want to lend to me? And explain to me how it works?
We're hoping anyway that once the house is up and we've picked a house, then it will be quieter and we'll have time to do these things and bring these things to you.
Absolutely. It's all been about sort of, shout out.
There's been a lot of decision making.
Yeah. So Waves in the Park. Okay. Thank you, AD Vision. So there's
Waves in the Park 2.
Waves in the Park 2. Of course. Excellent, and I hope it goes really well. It's in Saltaire near Bradford. 9 acts in the park.
Awesome. And I've got to give a shout out to Peter Coit, as mentioned. Coastal Electronauts is on this Thursday as well.
Awesome.
Thursday the 10th of April at, what's the venue now? Whitstable Umbrella Community Centre.
That's right, you changed venues, and I hope it's going really well for you in the new place.
Yeah.
We obviously, if we manage to get this move underway nice and quickly, we will be ever so slightly closer to you.
Yes.
Which is a nice thing. It'll be an hour's drive rather than 2 hours, which will be lovely for us to just pop over. Just resonator delays. Oh, well, that's easy. I can do a review of that. Yeah.
So April, May. We've got a gig just before the next BOOcast.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
So
we?
do you want to cut to that?
Yeah.
Ian, thank you. Contact me. That would be interesting. I might need your help. But yeah, speak to me privately in a later thing. Here we go.
Yes, so we're playing at the Brunswick in Hove as part of Brighton Fringe for Electric Dreams, a night of synthy fun. Sorry, I was already scrolling. Here we go. Night of synthy fun with Sweet Machine and Dark Rust. And the Brunswick is a brilliant venue in Hove. It's huge. It's got they've just kitted it out for basically promoting lots of live music. So it's going to be a good night full of fun in Brighton on the 2nd of May.
Yeah, 2nd of May, and that's this is our second time at the Brunswick. It's a lovely big place, and there's lots of area to go around. It's down on the seafront in Hove, and it's if you can't hack it anymore, and go down and get some fresh air on the beach, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
I hope to do that.
And part
myself.
of the festival, there'll be loads on, so come to Brighton.
Yes, yeah, that'd be lovely. So yeah, I mean. This is possibly the shortest show we've ever done. I've got a guru meditation of it. Oh, Peter, okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's possibly the shortest show we've ever done. That's why we're running at 45 minutes. And
That's okay.
I'm about to say good night to you all.
We don't have any longer VTs, and we've shared a lot of news.
We did. And also we got, so part of the therapeutic healing vibe that we've been through in this last little while, just taking control of life again and getting back into the music vibe, is we had the enormous pleasure to spend some time with Dave Spears of G4 Software last week, and when we went to his house, and we had many very late evenings just talking into the night, having a great time. And on one of the days, he just basically took us to the synth shed and left us there for quite a while, and we filmed quite a lot of stuff and recorded quite a lot of stuff. There's a couple of nice things that we've got on tape, but we're going to share with you something that we did, and this is just basically two people recovering from what has been quite a difficult year so far, and
touching these synths properly for the first time.
Well,
really.
I thought it would be. Well, you certainly do. Yeah. So there's the Jupiter 8, there's the CS80, and there's the Oberheim 8 voice in this track. So it's all the 8s. And we're not trying to say it's the best bit of music ever, but it's really nice. Technomadic's asking, will the director's cut of Brigitte's Ears be available on Patreon? I think OnlyFans is where that belongs, actually.
Quite obscene.
Yeah. Trust me, 2 of you would have enjoyed it. The rest of you would have been probably put off your tea. So
I had a strange mixture of both.
Yeah. A lot of people are really into that kind of thing. So we thought we'd best sort of steer clear. But
if everybody if the boosters want it, I will post it for you guys.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Anyway, this is just a moment in time. Both of us jamming off the top of our heads, just feeling out.
There's not a lot to it, but I mean, and obviously apologies, because it was just like no thinking and no thinking happened.
Just enjoyment.
Just literally just dicking around
and
on
many
classic
thanks
beautiful synths
to Dave for giving us that
and
time and space. It was a real treat.
Yeah, thank you again to Dave, and we hope to see you all really soon. If you can make it to the gig, we'll see you there. Gary, you said you're going to be there. It'd be great to see you, Gary.
Oh, great.
Gary Elwood. And
see you there.
And Paula. And we'll sign off now. It's a bit early, but we're going to sign off now. We hope you're all well. And here's a little bit of us dicking around on some very, 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 very classic synths.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
There we go. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Take care. Mwah.
Mwah. like the Jupiter 8.
Yeah.